समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयम् नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्. So when Arjuna was trying to be hysterical with his problem, Sri Krishna tells him, you speak like a wise man, but your behavior betrays you. Because your whole data is wrong. That's why he says, Achocyan anvasochaha tvam. Ashocyan anvasochaha tvam. It's no doubt, in the context, it means mourning over death. But Gita is given to us not merely to find an answer for death. It's an answer for all our problems. Therefore, this asocyan anvasochaha applies to all. All problems belong to the body, mind, or intellect. If I am not the body, if I am not the mind, if I am not the intellect, I have no problems. And if we are grieving, it has to be said only Ashocyan Anvasochaha, because you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are not the intellect. Why are you grieving? Right? And then he explained why all this is meaningless, not only grieving for death, even normal sorrows, matras parshastu kaunteya, sitoshna sukha dukkadaha, agama payino anityaha tamti tikchasva bharata. Joys and sorrows come in procession. It's necessary. It's necessary. Joys come to you so that you seek that eternal bliss. Sorrow come to you, again you try to get out of it and seek that bliss. Imagine the love of the Lord. There are billions of people, billions of insects, billions of animals, billions of trees, billions of stones. Each cell is taking care for evolution. Every cell. What's his love? I have told people, do not worry to know the Lord, to get moksha. Yes, if you can recognize the love of the Lord, how much He loves you. Because I won't say love the Lord, because you and I don't know how to love the Lord. We don't even know how to love the Lord. So if only minimum we can recognize how much He loves us, our life is fulfilled. Our life has not gone a waste. So that Lord provides us whatever experiences we need for evolution. And then if you are through this constant climatic change of the moods, you are able to keep a balance. You have brought the mind under the control of the intellect, which is called integration. such a man becomes fit for immortality. Amrutatvaya kalpate. What is immortality? To recognize the immortal that you are. Nasato vidyate bhavaha. That immortal self is najayate mrete va kadachit nayam bhutva bhavita va nabhuya. What about this death? Vasansi jirnani yata vihaya nara navani gruhnati naro parani. Having explained up to that, then he comes down from normal man's point of view, how weapons cannot destroy it, how the so-called birth and death are only manifest, unmanifest to manifest is birth, manifest to unmanifest is death. And even if you think that is this birth and death are real, what is born should die, what is dead will be born. What is there to grieve, he's asking. And when Krishna explains this, Arjuna, who thought the whole world has collapsed or collapsing, he shows a big surprise in his face. Surprise, wonder, Sri Gurudev beautifully explains. Somebody comes in, I recognize him to be a human being, even if I don't know any other details. I saw him, intellect said he's a man or a woman. There is no wonder in that. Somebody comes into my room with 5 heads. My intellect doesn't explain what it is. It just says half of Ravana. Because Ravana had 10 heads, this man has 5 heads. My intellect cannot explain that what you see. But the intellect has no answer. Is called wonder. Arjuna is able to see the logic of Krishna, but still he is not able to understand it thoroughly. He is not able to understand it thoroughly. And therefore, it's a wonder. Normally, we use wonder or a miracle for positive things. You don't say wonderful murder, wonderful gesture, positive thing. Miraculous escape. You don't say miraculous accident. Miracle always is love of the Lord. Don't take it as an accident. Any miracle that happens to you is the love of the Lord. There is nothing in this world that is not the love of the Lord. Nothing in this world that is not the love of the Lord. Yes, know this, your life is fulfilled. So Arjuna's, there is a exclamatory mark in Arjuna's face. Krishna sees that and says, Ascharyavat pashyati kaschidhenam, Ascharyavat vadati tataiva chanyaha, Ascharyavat chaina manyas srunoti, Srutvapyenam vedana chaiva kaschit. Yes, Arjuna, when a teacher talks this, everybody gets a wonder, because up to now he was thinking he is the filtered idiot, as they call it. He is the worst of people. But right now, Bhagavan says, hey, you are God. You have no doubt. He is not able to digest it. Therefore, there is a big exclamatory mark on his face. Ascharyavat pashyati. And he hears also as a wonder. Ascharyavat. No, the man who talks also talks it as a wonder. Ascharyavat vadati. Why? Because that guru knows it and he doesn't see anything other than that anywhere. He doesn't see anything other than God anywhere. We are in 29. Raji asked which sloka we are. We are on 29. We did 28 till last class. Today we are on 29. So, the Krishna says, this truth, anybody listens, he sees it as a wonder. How can listening be seeing? Bhagavata says that beautifully. Sruta ikshita patha. Sruta ikshita pada. The path seen by the ears. How can ears see? Sruta ikshita pada. When you hear it, you are able to visualize it. Therefore, it's seeing. And the person who speaks does not see anything other than God. Whatever he sees is God. And he is naturally talking it as a wonder. How does you, God, doesn't know this? Ascharyavat vadati tatha, tatha eva cha anyaha, ascharyavat cha yenam, anyaha srunoti. Others hear this as a wonder. These are all not wonders, sir. These are all not wonders, though Bhagavan says. What is the wonder of wonders? Srutva pyenam vedana chaiva kaschiti. Even after listening to this, the man does not understand. Even after listening to this, the man does not understand. What about women? They may understand. Okay. Why? Why doesn't he understand? Such a simple thing. I now talk to you about black hole. You will all understand. But Atman, you don't understand. Why black hole you are interested? You have interest in that, to know what it is. God, you have no interest because you have no faith. God, you have no interest since you have no faith. Your interest in God is directly proportional to your faith. Your faith in God is directly proportional to your love on God. Your love on God directly proportional to the security and happiness of you. I do not know the sequence, whatever I said, because just now Gurudev spoke through me. I don't remember. So you please listen to that or make a note of it. So, because we lack faith, we lack interest in that subject, we do not grasp it. Children say, I can't concentrate on maths. Does he lack concentration? Ask him to tell, ball by ball, that day's cricket match, every ball he will explain. How did he explain. He concentrated that much. Maths he cannot. Why? Cricket he loves. Maths he hates. Very simple. Why don't we understand God? We don't love Him, sir. Let us be frank. We don't love Him. Full stop. Why don't we love Him? Because we love all other cheap things. We love all other cheap things. The mind is invested in paltry, finite, fleeting, ephemeral joys. Therefore, mind is not available for the eternal bliss that you are and that which is God. So now this mind has to be turned away from these fleeting joys to the eternal. How will you do it? Slowly change your love. How will you do it? Change the course of your life. How will you do it? Change the way in which you act, because life is all actions. Life is all actions. You change the actions, your life is changed. This process of changing the normal, egoistic, selfish, desire-filled activities into a means of emancipation and elevation and integration becomes a yoga. Therefore, karma becomes karma yoga. So, having said the nature of the self, having given all the details about the nature of the self, now Krishna is going to tell us how to actualize this knowledge, internalize this knowledge, assimilate this knowledge by trying to reduce those things that are covering the self in you. The grossest form is vasanas. Its subtler form is, grossest form is thoughts, subtler form is vasanas. It's your vasanas as thoughts that cover this self. These vasanas have to be reduced. How did we gather these vasanas? By trying to crave for and attach to the world of objects and experiences. Now, you start loving God, you crave for God, use all the actions to reach Him. Use all activity to reach Him, to know Him. That is Karma Yoga, through which, because you have no interest in the joys of the world now, the existing vasanas in you get reduced. Since you are not depending on the results, you do not pick up new vasanas. In course of time, the layer of these vasanas becomes so thin, the self reveals by itself. The self reveals by itself. That is Karma Yoga. This Karma Yoga has a few important aspects. First thing is, karma should be dedicated to a cause, a very great cause, not for the satisfaction of the ego. You have to find a cause. That is the first thing, not the ego. should not depend on the results. You should understand karma is a means to eradicate vasanas and not for gaining any results. Sri Gurudev puts it beautifully. It's not important what you gain out of work. It's important what you become out of work. It's not important what you gain out of work. It's important what you become out of work. So therefore, find a cause, dedicate all actions to the cause. Do not try to gain fulfillment of the senses through that action. Do not feel that you are the agent, doer and enjoyer. These are all the aspects in Karma Yoga. There is a very surprising thing. Most of us say when bad things happen, idella talavidhi, destiny. What is destiny? Your past karma. Karma who did, body did. Then you say, Ella avan seyal. It's God. Both statements are correct. It is God that provides the experiences according to your past karma so that you cleanse yourself and evolve. Both statements are correct. It's all karma. It's managed by God. Why are you worried? Karma belongs to the body, mind, and intellect. Bhagavan is cleansing it. What's your problem? You detach. As simple as that. So, detached activity for a cause is Karma Yoga to reduce the vasanas. Now, what do I do? What do I do? You know, I spend a lot of time in these things because 82. But even then, you know, in between, I see the share market. At 82, what am I going to do with that money? I don't know why I need the money because my needs are all met by my family. But my vasanas, business, share, my vasanas. Now, what do I do? I leave this because 82, now it's bad for you. You take sannyas and go to Rishikesh. What do I do there? I find some people interested in the same thing and try to develop a conversation. My vasanas will find a field for me. Wherever you go, you take the vasanas with you. Now what happened? Earlier you had the vasanas of shares. Now you have a vasana for Rishikesh and that sort of living. Now you have brought two sets of vasanas instead of one. So what you should do is know your vasanas, inclinations, know your inclinations, follow those inclinations, divert those inclinations towards a cause, but detach. Do not try to pick up something where you had no natural inclination. This is called Swadharma. So now let us again review Karma Yoga. Find out your Swadharma. Dedicate to your cause. Do not expect results. Do not have the sense I am the doer and the enjoyer. These are the various ingredients of Karma Yoga. So now Bhagavan starts with Swadharma. Before that, there is one more sloka concluding his this thing. Before starting Swadharma, there is one more sloka concluding his Adhyatma Vidya. 30. Dehi nityamavadhyoyam dehe sarvasya bharata tasmat sarvani bhutani natvam shochitumarkasi. Dehi, the one who has the deha or who is in the deha is called Dehi. Sarvasya, of all. Bharata. Nityam avadhyoyam. This Dehi is indestructible in all bodies. Tasma, therefore, sarvani bhutani. All beings are indestructible in this body. The Dehis in the Dehas are indestructible. Therefore, Arjuna, Natvam Shochitumarhasi. You should not grieve for this imagined death. Natvam Shochitumarhasi. Right. Now, up to now, what was given was Adhyatma Yoga, the theoretical side. Now he has to give the applied science, how to reach there by cleansing your mind. That Swadharma is, Karma Yoga is starting as an introduction. He talks about Swadharma. Swadharmamapi cha vetya na vikampitu marhasi dharmya diyuddha shreyonyat kshatriyasya na vidyate. Arjuna is a Kshatriya by birth and by temperament. Both by birth and both by temperament. So therefore, he has to follow his inclination. He has to follow his heart. Kshatriya's duty is to annihilate adharma and establish dharma. Kshatriya cannot afford to be shaken in adversities. A Kshatriya needs a field to exhaust his vasanas. If I have business vasanas, there is a ready-made field. If I have vasana for arts, there is a ready-made field. If I have vasana for agriculture, there is a ready-made field. A Kshatriya needs a field. The field is battle, war. To reduce his vasanas, is it fair to create a battle or a war? Not fair. But on its own it occurs because of the prarabdha, samasti prarabdha, everybody's prarabdha. It's a great opportunity to reduce your vasanas. To run away from that is to miss the opportunity. Therefore he says, so dharmamapi cha vetya na vikimpatu marhasi dharmya diyuddha shreyonyat kshatriyasya na vidyate. Even from your Swadharma standpoint, na vikampitu marhasi, you should not be shaken like this. Always Bhagavan uses everywhere Anushochanti vikampitum, that is, normal errors are allowed. Obsession with errors are not allowed. So, right? You are little worried. It's okay. But you are shaken completely. As a Kshatriya, you can't afford it. Dharmyat he yadruchaya, without your asking. This has come. And such an opportunity as Dharma Yuddha, there is nothing greater than that. There is nothing greater than that. Anyat kshatriyasya na vidyate. Yadruchaya chopapannam 32. Swargadvaram apavrutam shukina kshatriya partha labhante yuddha midrusham. Yadruchaya. Yadruchaya. By itself. Unexpectedly. As a coincidence. This has come. And by that, your vasanas will be cleansed. Your mind intellect get integrated. You shall enjoy a greater state of happiness, which is called Swarga. Swarga and Naraka are two states of the same mind. A pure mind, bereft of egoistic desires, causing negative thoughts like greed, jealousy, anger, etc., is heaven. A mind full of greed, jealousy, anger is hell. So when, for a Kshatriya, through a Dharma Yuddha, he exhausts his vasanas, he becomes pure and he enjoys the Swarga. Yadruchaya chopapannam Swarga dwaram apavrutam. The gates of heaven are open to you without your asking, without your striving. And when you get that, Sukhina Kshatriya Partha Labhante Yuddha Midrusham. The Kshatriyas, when I get an opportunity like this, they are happy. 33. Athachettvam imam dharmyam sangramam na karishyasi tatasva dharmam kirtim chahitva papam avapsasi. In case you don't find this war, you are suppressing your swadharma, you are not giving it a vent. You are not giving it a vent, and you will lose all the good name that you gained up to now. Arjuna was known to be the greatest hero of those days, whom Shiva could not defeat, who won war single-handedly for Indra, and the Indra shared his throne with Arjuna. Such a man now runs off from the battlefield. You are not reducing your vasanas, you are hurting your psyche, and you cause ignominy for yourself. Therefore, these become these sources of sorrow for you. Hitva papam avapsasi. Papa, sin, is that which makes you regret, that when you do not exhaust your vasanas, you are incurring sin, means you are creating more channels of wombs of sorrow for yourself. And then what happens with reference to the others? Seeing you. Akirtim chapi bhutani कथयिष्यन्ति ते व्ययाम् संभावितस्य च कीर्तिः मरणादतिरिच्यते. All people will start talking all sorts of things about you. A coward, a eunuch, because he was a eunuch in Virata Parva. They will now refer to all that. He's a coward and all that. To a person who has been honored up to now, dishonor is worse than death. A normal man, people speak several things. He doesn't bother because he is not known to many, a very ordinary man. He at best will shift his place. A man known all over the three worlds, Arjuna, if people start talking ill about him, where he will go to hide, where people will receive him with respect. It's worse than death. And then worse. What is worse? Bhayad ranaduru paratam mansyante tvam maharatah. They will say, Bhayat uparatam. Out of fear, he has withdrawn. Yesham chatvam bahumataha. One who is held in high esteem by these people, Maharataha, yasyasi laghavam. You shall become they start speaking about you. That man is shot, okay, bat, world number 2 and 3 batsman, you say he doesn't know how to hold a bat. It's horrible. Same thing now they will talk about you, Arjuna, Nindantastava Samarthyam. Such a man whom Shiva could not defeat. Unimaginable situation. Krishna is trying to tell Arjuna. Therefore, what do you do? Oh, no, before that, there is one more. And what happens? Prapsasi swargam jitva va bhokshase mahim tasmaduttishta kaunteya yuddhaya krita nischayah. If you are killed in this battle, having given vent to your feeling and reduced the vasanas, you get a free mind intellect, a psyche that leaves this body is both. After death, you will get Swarga, and here you will get the kingdom. Jitva bhova bhochase mahi. Tasmad uttishta kaunteya yuddhaya krutaraschaya. Therefore, son of Kunti, known for her titiksha, endurance, you cannot afford to be a coward like this. Yuddhaya krutanischaya, yudhyasva. fight this battle of life, having decided to fight. Krishna is not a warmonger. Krishna doesn't need Arjuna or anybody to finish off these Kauravas. By his mere sankalpa, they can all be washed off. But the reasons Arjuna gives are not valid. Therefore, Krishna, having explained all those reasons, says, the reasons you have talked are invalid, therefore get up and fight. Fight here is not merely the battle of Kurukshetra. It's the battle of all our life. If fight is inevitable, you are fighting. And that is liberate. Everybody is fighting. Do they liberate? No. You have to do them in a particular way. I told you in the beginning, Karma Yoga. What is Karma Yoga? What way should I act? These hints are given in 3 verses, mainly on Karma Yoga. 38 and 47 of 2nd chapter and 30 of that chapter. We shall now take the 38th verse of the 2nd chapter. Sukha dukke same krutva labha labho jaya jayo tato yuddhaya yudhyasva naivam papam avapsasi. Sukha dukke same krutva labha labho jaya jayo. Making yourself equanimous in sukha and dukkha, pleasure and pain, labha, alabha, gain and loss, jaya, ajaya, victory and defeat. It should not make any difference to you because nothing in this world has a value. Everything in this world is finite, fleeting, wombs of sorrow. You should only have value for God. Nothing is important. Therefore, the pairs of opposites, sukha and dukkha, labha, alabha, jaya, ajaya, should not make a difference to you. It should not make a difference to you because nobody can take away the God that you are. Nobody can make the God that you are. You are already God. It cannot be taken off. It cannot be given to you. How does these things, the experience of the body, mind, intellect, sukha, dukkha, labha, alabha, jaya, ajaya, these are all different experiences at the level of the body, mind, and intellect. Gain and loss, labha, labha, are feelings of the mind, victory and defeat, pleasure and pain, intellectual awareness, conquest and defeat, or physical effects. So, rise above them, rise above the body, rise above the mind, rise above the intellect by tuning yourself to that consciousness. This is called yoga. If you do that way, the results of the actions do not bind you, do not give you sorrow, do not become the seeds of future sorrows and rebirths, which are called papas. I have told you previous verse or 2 verses before. So when you act like this, cleanse your personality and you do not get sins. Again, I have to repeat the sentence I told from Gurudev. Work is meant for you to clean yourself, evolve. Therefore, it's not important what you get out of work. It is important what you become out of work. So, this Karma Yoga, from the standpoint of Arjuna being a Kshatriya Swadharma, he has explained. Now he is going to give us more details about this Karma Yoga. So he says, Yesha te vihita sankhe buddhi yoge tvimam srunu buddhya yukto yaya partha karma bandham prahasyasi. I have up to now given you Sankhya Buddhi, Jnana Marga. Now I will give you in detail Yoga Buddhi, the Karma Yoga, or the process of integration. Buddhya Yukto Yaya Partha, tuned yourself to this Yoga Buddhi, Karma Bandham Prahasyasi. You shall cut asunder this bondage of karmas that make you dependent, that make you miserable, that make you again and again take this helpless births and deaths. Karma bandham prahasyasi. So he is starting Karma Yoga, more details. And here Krishna becomes a salesman. If you see beautiful logics he is giving, it's like our TV serial, this thing, exactly same technique TV people are adopting. I won't say Krishna adopted, because Krishna was earlier than them. TV not necessarily they have copied. Is the same Bhagavan in everybody. He only makes people think that way and act. So this Karma Yoga he's going to talk has nothing to do with the Karma Yoga of the Puranic period or before the Kali Yuga. That Karma Yoga was more on rituals. Same purpose, to purify the mind intellect. But they are rituals because in those days they could afford it. They had time enough, less competition. And in the Kali Yuga, just starting at that time of the Mahabharata war, Vyasa knew people are more machine-like. That's what it's called, Kali. Kali is machine-like. Therefore, they cannot afford these rituals. They have to bring the same attitude of the rituals into their day. And to the Karma Yoga he is going to teach. And he says, Neha Vikramana Shosti Pratyavayo na vidyate Swalpamapyasya dharmasya Trayate mahato bhayat. Na iha abhikramanashaha asti pratyavayaha na vidyate. In all the rituals, there are two types of problems. You start your fifth day, the Pandit who went to bathroom got a heart attack. We had to drop it. That's called abhikramanashaha. And pratyavaya, you utter a wrong mantra, you will get evil effects. Similarly, in agriculture also, you sow the seeds, rain doesn't come. If you are dependent on rain, your effort is lost. Loss of effort is called abhikramanasha. Or pests come pratyavaya. Pests come pratyavaya. Again, the agriculture is lost. Right? Even this pratyavaya is there even in our treatment. Some injections, if you don't take reactionary test, they will end up in disaster. So that's called Pratyavaya. Vyasa says through Krishna, or Krishna says, in the Karma Yoga I am going to teach. Swalpamapi asya, even a little of this, trayate mahato bhayat, shall protect you from major fear. Major fear is death. Major tuliyo poro, tuliyo kiyad. Tuliyo porum, tuliyo kriyad. And then they will say that powder, that shirt is all dirt, this powder white. Same thing Krishna is using here. Swalpamapi yasya trayate mahato bhayat. Furthermore, when you have a work dedicated to your cause, vyavasayatmika buddhihi yekeha kuru nandana bahusha kahyanantascha buddhayo vyavasayinam. Vyavasayi means one who works. Resolute. One who has taken a resolution that I will work for this cause and continuously works for it. His mind becomes single-pointed. A person who has no goal doesn't have a resolution. His mind will wander in all directions. And that is called agitated mind. And then he again talks in comparison of this karma yoga to the ritualistic karmas. The particular verse I am going to say is put even better than the atheists. Yame mam pushpitam vacham pravadantya vipaschitaha vedavadarata partha nanyadastiti vadinaha. These pandits, they will use all flowery language to tempt you to these rituals. Avipaschitaha, unintelligent people. Pravadanti, give a lecture, utter. With how? Pushpitam vacham, flowery language. Veda vadarata partha, quoting Vedas and saying, na anyadasti iti vadinaha. There is nothing greater than this. They say this. And what are all, after all those karmas? Kamatmana swargapara janma karma falapradam kriya vishesha bahulam bhogaishwarya gatim prati. All these rituals are prompted by desire. At best, they can give you swarga, which is finite. There also all politics are there. The greatest thief in the world is Indra. Whoever is doing the 100th Ashwamedha Yaga, he will steal the horse. There are also a lot of politics. Again, you have to come back to this earth after exhausting your punya. Janma karma falaprada involves lot of details. Kriya vishesha bahulam. The Pandit would have given you a list of 100 items. You brought all of them. Before starting, he will say, Idilaye. At that time, you have to again run. Kriya Vishesha Bahulam. For all what? Bhoga Aishwarya Prati. For enjoyments and wealth. Finite. For that, you have to do all these rituals. And when you do for this Aishwarya and Bhoga, Bhogaishwarya prasaktanam taya pahruta chetasam devasayatmika buddhihi samadhau na vidhiyate. A mind that is goaded by the enjoyments, bhoga and aishwarya, well, is never steady. Apahrata chetasam, they are drawn away. Vyavasayatmaka buddhihi, the resolute mind is drawn away at samadhauna, which and it doesn't stay in equanimity. Na vidhiyate, samadhauna vidhiyate. Samadhi doesn't mean going to blank. Samadhi is to keep the mind always in equanimity, tuned to the self. And next sloka is one of the best practical hints. Lovely sloka. All that he said is summarizing and giving you hints for living. Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna Nirdvandvo Nitya Saptastaha Niryoga Kshema Atmavan. All these rituals come under the purview of the three gunas. Entire world other than God are expressions of the three gunas. Sattva guna, Rajo guna, Tamo guna. Sattva guna, thinking, intellect. Rajo guna, dynamic activity, egoistic activity, body and mind also. Mind. Tamo guna, body. So the whole world is made up of these three gunas. The good, bad and indifferent. Together is called Maya. Three gunas together is called Maya. All the best that these rituals can give you are all products of these three gunas. Guna in Sanskrit means not only quality, rope. What is the connection? Because both bind. Quality also binds. Rope also binds. How does a quality bind? If you like goodness, you cannot stand a bad man. What is wrong in that? It is wrong because there is no good man, there is no bad man. All are gods in different shirts. It is bad. You have no business to judge anybody. Are you perfect? If you are perfect, you won't judge. You will understand. The very reason you are judging, you are not perfect. That is how the qualities bind. When you like something, you don't like the opposite of it. And they cannot coexist also most of the times. Tall and short cannot coexist. Heat and cold cannot coexist. So that is the problem with the gunas. They bind you. Therefore, they are also called ropes. And that's all you can get from these rituals. Traigunya Vishaya Veda. Veda here means ritualistic portion. Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna. Rise above them. Go beyond the three gunas. What will happen if you go beyond the three? What is causing you sorrow? Opposites. Good, bad. Heat, cold. Profit, loss. Victory, defeat. These are giving you sorrow. What are they? Perceptions of the mind. What is mind? Made above the three gunas. So if you rise above, you go beyond these dvandvas, duality. How to rise above? You cannot suddenly rise above the three gunas. Take hold of the sattva guna. Through that, master Rajoguna, Tamoguna. When you have mastered Rajoguna, Tamoguna, Sattva-guna merges with the self. Therefore, Nitya Sattvastaha. Further, Niryoga Kshema, free from anxieties and worries of yoga and kshema. Yoga Apraptasya praptihi, to gain something what you don't have. Kshema is praptasya rakshanam, to protect what you have. Continuously, we are only after these two pursuits which are giving us sorrow. Yoga and Kshema. So you leave these two sources of sorrow. How can I do that, sir? Is it possible? Yes. Atmavan. When you try to tune to the self. When you try to tune to the self. When you draw your inspiration from the self, that is God. When you draw your happiness from the self, that is God. When you draw your security from the self, that is God. You rise above the duality, yoga and kshema, and you become an adept in karma yoga. And then your integrated mind and intellect become steady in meditation. And he's concluding his comparison with the ritualistic portion and the gain of the self. Yavan arthavudapane sarvatah samplutodake tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanatah. I grew up to my 9th or 10th year in the villages. The source of water is well. Even today, though we are in 2021, there are villages, there are even in city, people who depend on their well water. So you need the well water. It is useful. You can live that by that. But what is the use of this well water where there is a flood of water going 2 feet above all the wells? You can straight take it from the flood water. Similarly, these rituals, yes, for an ordinary man, ignorant man, it gives a relative joy and sorrow. It's allowed. Kathopanishads say that is the second boon. It's allowed for ordinary people. But an intelligent man, why should he go for that? Brahmanandam is like the flood of water, not the well water. When you renounce these rituals and seek Brahman, that is flood water. Yavan artaha udapane. Udapane, well water. Artaha, that much meaning. Sarvataha samplutodake, where there is flood everywhere. Tavan sarveshu Vedas, that much use only in all the Vedas. Brahmanasya vijanataha, of the knower of Brahman. Right? And is almost finished. And now I told you, Karma Yoga, he gives in 3 slokas. One is 38 of this chapter. Second, now, next verse, what we are going to take, 47. The other is 30th verse of the 3rd chapter. This verse you must have heard many a time and seen even in obituaries, this verse quoted. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala hetubhu ma te sangastu karmani. Why you should not worry about results? What happens when you worry about results? What is the other way to do it? He says, Karmani eva adhikaraha te. Adhikara means right is one translation which is available in all. But the same right can be interpreted because that is more meaningful. Control. You have control only over the actions. You have no control over the results. Karmani eva adhikaraha te ma phaleshu kadachana. You have no control over the results. Every action has 4 aspects. It needs effort, yatna. It needs the right effort, prayatna. And you have to allow the time, kala. Did the effort, put the right effort, allowed the time. But what exactly result should come, you do not know. Sometimes it can be much more than what you expect. Sometimes it will be too less. That is decided by the X factor called adrusta, not seen. There is a reason, but it's not seen. Adrusta. That is called Deivam. That's called Deivam. Supposing you want to go to Delhi by train, you buy a ticket, Yatna. Bought a ticket, but go to Egmore station from Chennai. You won't go to Delhi. It should be Prayatna, go to Central Station. You're gone. You are the railway minister. You say in next 6 hours I have to be in Delhi. Not possible. You have to give the right kala. Then you will reach. You cannot say because in Nagpur you met a classmate whom you have not met for the last 25 years. And you saw him and he says, tomorrow morning is my daughter's wedding. Get down, attend and then go. I have not given a negative example. He will get down, attend and go. So definitely whether he will reach at the appointed time, we don't know. Devam. Yatnam, Prayatnam, Kalam, Devam. These make the results. You have control in these four only on Yatna and Prayatna. Karmana eva adhikaraha. Ma phaleshu kadachana. Therefore, don't have a fixed goal. This much I should get. Do your best. Results will take care of itself. If you worry about the results, your efficiency in the present activity goes down. Plan. Having planned, work out the plan. But while working, do not think about the results. Ma karma phala hetu bhu. Lot of people say, because in Gita it's going to say later, don't have regrets of the past, anxieties of the future. How is that possible? Without past, I should remember the experiences, the knowledge. Future, I have to plan. Yes, in past there are two things, experience and regrets. Leave the regrets, take the experience. In future, there are two things, anxiety and planning. Take the planning and renounce the anxiety. Therefore, ma karma phala hetu bhu. Do not have a fixed goal. Because so much is said about not caring for results, you should not get attached to inertia, laziness. What is the point in working? Mate sangahatu akarmani. You should not get attached to akarmani, laziness, inaction. Right? More of it we'll see next Tuesday. Right? I want feedback from you, people. You can tell me now and also send messages. Your feedback will help me. Please give me feedback. You can tell me now and send me this. I don't want to hear praises only. You can tell me, sir, you are very fast. Or you made a mistake there. Several things you can say. If there is something to say. Don't create something to say. But if there is something to say, say. Send me messages also.
Uncle, Srividya Bhagini wants to ask you something.
Ma?
Srividya Bhagini wants to ask you something. She has raised her hands.
Okay. Yeah, please, let her ask. Yeah. Wait, Srividya, come on. What's happening?
Maybe by mistake she raised her hand.
Okay, by mistake, yes.
Probably.
Okay. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Thank you. God bless you all.